Hey, welcome to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager, here on the NowMedia Television networks. I'm telling you, I'm excited. We're going to have a great show today. We've got David Murphy, talk a little bit of law. We got Kat Becker. We're going to talk about some interesting things today about how you think about things in business. And Linda Chung is going to give us some great ideas about financial advice and how to grow your business. But I want to talk today about growing your business and one of the most important things to increase profit in your business. I know what you're thinking. Most business owners, when they think about increasing profit in my business, they're thinking about sales and marketing and all these things we've got to do. Yeah, that's important. But the way you're really going to grow profit in your business is get streamlined. Understand your processes and procedures and how your company actually works. What happens with a lot of business owners is we get confused that we're the guy that does everything. We're everything from chief marketing officer to chief bottle washer to sales guy to this to that. We just do everything. And what we've got to do is get a lot of this stuff out of our head, and we got to get it down on paper. We got to get it down to electronics. We got to get it to places where we can actually go ahead and duplicate ourselves. I just ran a whiskey and whiteboards and whiskey event. I got to say the name of my company, right? A whiteboards and whiskey event over in Pensacola. And we talked about this today with several business owners. But one of the things they say is, Mike, we're really busy. We're really busy and we can't do that. But here's what I'm going to tell you. You're going to be able to go make a lot more money if you set back and actually take some time to write down the processes and procedures of about the 20 to 30 most important things that you do every day, every week, and every month. This is going to allow you to do some really great things. Number one, it's going to allow you to onboard people more efficiently and get them up to speed as to actually how your company runs. Number two, you're going to be able to get more profitable because once your salespeople start selling, you can sell more and do more at a much quicker pace. And number three, and when you're really thinking about this from the end in mind and you sell your company is going to be worth a lot more because actually you have everything written down and you can actually exit that company. I'm telling you, I talk to business owners all the time when they say, when I sell my company, I don't want to stick around for 2 to 3 years to share with how this business works and why it works the way it does. You got to get these things written down. This is one of the most important things you can do as a business owner. You know, whether you go ahead and you just write a service manual, whether you go ahead and you write operation procedures, we use something called Trainual. You know, we use a lot of video with our customers so we can go help them duplicate what they need to do. These are the most important things. As a business owner, we need to be thinking long term, and let's not let the short-term things, the short-term struggles get in the way of tripping us up. That's what it's all about. And if you want to go ahead and make more money in your business, not only in the short term, but in the long term, write down your processes, understand what they do, get them streamlined, and get your team to understand them. So I'm Michael Rager, your business guide. We're going to come back. We're going to have some great things to talk about in today's episode. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Biz Talk TV right after this.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
As a home or business owner, it can be tough to find a painting company that you can rely on. Look no further. Hi, I'm Courtney Hughes, owner of 360 Painting West Houston, your go-to painting company for residential and commercial needs. 360 Painting's mission is simple. We want to provide you with the highest quality finish and the best painting experience possible. Our company's residential and commercial painting services are founded on 3 core values. First, quality. We ensure the use of premium paints, high-quality finishes, and proven painting methods. Second, professionalism. We are committed to professional and responsive painting services. We coordinate and plan projects around your schedule and will treat your property with the utmost respect. And lastly, customer service. Your satisfaction is our #1 priority. So before laying a single brushstroke, we will make sure that we understand your vision for your home or office, and we'll do all that we can to paint that vision into reality. We strive to complete every project to your specifications, and we ensure professional, accountable, and reliable service from the first brushstroke to the last. So the next time that you need your home or business painted, give us a call for your free estimate at 713-829-1581.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager, and it's that time again. We got our favorite redhead, Katrin Becker. Katrin, how are you today?
I'm good. I got to represent.
You got to represent the redheads. Way to go. So we're going to talk about something interesting today. What unconscious bias? Give me a little background about that. What is that, and why do we need to worry about it?
Well, and it's such a pervasive and tricky concept because we are unconscious to it. So we are going around living our lives not really realizing these different biases that exist. And the reason that I really wanted to talk about it today is it's kind of come up for me lately. I had done a LinkedIn post a couple of weeks ago regarding some experiences that I had as a woman in the workplace. And I worked with great people and great men, but there was an unconscious bias that they had against women. And so as I started looking more into this and evaluating it for myself, I realized that there's all sorts of different levels of unconscious bias. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. So the one that I experienced is where, in engineering, it was very often that I was the only woman in the room, and I was always given the task of, well, Katrin will take notes. Katrin can write on the whiteboard and keep track of things. And that is a bias by association that most women have good handwriting. Therefore, you are a woman, you must have good handwriting. And so there's an assumption that was made there. I could have been a doctor with my handwriting. And again, that's another bias right there, that all doctors have bad handwriting. So it's really an unconscious bias is looking at some assumptions that we make as a general collective society that need some evaluation to go a little bit deeper.
So how does it cause problems or issues in the workplace? And, is it something that's a major problem or issue in the workplace?
It can be. And it can extend outside of the workplace as well. So one of the unconscious bias that I wanted to talk with you today during our time is called the halo effect. And then its converse counterpart is called the horn effect. So the halo effect is when there is one piece of information you have about someone that's really, really positive. And so therefore you expound on that and think everything about them is really, really positive. So maybe you are interviewing a new candidate and you went to the same alma mater, right? That could give you the impression that maybe they are better than they are because you have that sort of shared piece in common. And so, or again, thinking of interviews, maybe someone is really charming in an interview, and that kind of gives them this overall halo effect that they have, that you see everything as much more rosy because of course they want to put their best foot forward. They're in an interview. So things that an employer that can counteract this halo effect is to really look at references. Of course, when someone put references for a job application, it's references that they themselves are putting forward. So you know that it already has a bias implied there, that they're not going to put someone who hates them for you to call. So it makes making that call to those references a really crucial step, and making sure that you have questions that can get to the root of what you're trying to look for and what you're trying to get to with that employee to counteract the halo effect.
Well, isn't it, though, right now, even when you're hiring, that as a former employer, you can't say anything bad about anybody anyways. There's that going on right now in our workplace. So how does that bias overcome something like that?
Well, you can't say anything bad, but if someone asks you a direct question of, can you tell me a time where, Susie didn't live up to your expectations, or failed on the job or something like that, they can tell you the story of where it's at. And of course, you need to be careful in what you say, but the type of questions you ask can be really empowering and impactful on the information that you get back. And of course, the type of questions that you would tailor are really going to depend on what sort of situation that you're looking at. But it's mostly about not just taking a certain piece of information and expanding that prior or to all of the areas of their life. You need to really say critical thinking. Okay, they're great in this area. What about this other area? Let's ask the questions that are going to directly get you to the answer that you're wanting there. And then on the other side of it, you can have the opposite, which is the horn effect, where there's one piece of information you learn about someone that completely taints all other things. And in today's society, it could be something about someone's political leanings. Like, again, let's say we're looking at someone to hire and you go to their social media and they are a big proponent of the opposite political party as you. You might all of a sudden then take on all of the generalizations for that entire political party supporters and think that that person holds all of those, which without actually asking them more clarifying questions.
Yeah, that happens a lot right now in society for sure. And I know where you're coming from there, because it's funny, I was just in Pensacola this last week, and my last trip to Pensacola, I met a famous professional athlete, and he was a jerk. But the guy's gone and done a lot of other positive things. And I know if you ever ask anything to me about this person, there's nothing but that horn effect's going to come out, because he was such a jerk. So, but doesn't this come down now just to our perspective? Because if we've actually had interactions with these people, that's what we see and that's what we remember. So how does that go more into, helping somebody with a candidate selection like you're talking about, versus something like you brought up at the beginning, just, hey, I'm making this assumption, about Katrin, that she can write well because she's a woman. I mean, I think that's kind of a little bit different, isn't it?
It is a little bit different. And that's where I was just saying that's what kind of got me thinking and looking into all of these different unconscious bias, because there's several different ones. And we're just speaking about the two that I felt were most applicable to business, which being on how you are hiring someone and what information you are gleaning from them, and how that because you don't have a whole lot of interactions with someone. You have the resume that you're getting and you have the interview. And so it's how you're taking those pieces of information. But it's just a great example of unconscious bias that exists, that we can all say, oh, because you are a woman, you are this way and this way and this way. Because you are a man, you do this, this, and this. And so it's just an example of something that we can all experience. But the other unconscious bias that I wanted to talk about is one that's called the anchor bias. And this one is slightly different than the last two or three that we mentioned. So this one is when you get one piece of information that then anchors all the rest of your decisions. And a really great example of this, as it applies to business, can be in the sales point of view. And we all experience this all the time. When you see something that is priced at, say, $100, but it's on sale for 50%. So they anchored its initial value at $100. And then by adding the sale of saying it's $50, you take that initial $100 as your anchor point. And now the new price of $50 seems like a much better deal than if they had just said, this is $50 of what we're offering. And so it's kind of a psychological part that a lot of companies can employ in the sales process, but it's something to be aware of, like, what is the actual value? Have you looked at multiple different things, or are you just anchored in one sort of situation?
Yeah, I want to kind of address both of those comments the way we were going, because it's funny is, I met a gentleman a couple weeks ago at a networking event we held up in the Woodlands, and he's got a company that on the hiring process, it's all video. It starts out video. We don't want to see resume. We don't want to see anything. Because what he said is most people will make a decision, a conscious decision, whether to move forward with somebody within 15 seconds of seeing the video. And they've been very good at moving things along, and you get a feeling about a person and going from there. And I think that's very important, especially when we're looking at something like the hiring decision that you're talking about. And then the other thing that you talked about, this anchor, there's a new store that opened up in my neighborhood. And they haven't even been open 2 months yet, and outside there's a sign that says everything inside 25 to 50% off. And I'm sitting here going, as a business coach, like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing? Is this stuff only valued really at half of what it's at? So that's what you really think you can get, or do you just undervalue yourself so bad that that's where you're going? How does that play in?
Well, there's a lot of psychological components there, and it's definitely a part of that anchor bias. And there is a bit of the halo effect in there as well, because you're thinking, oh, everything in here is on sale, and everyone wants to have a sale. Everyone wants to get a good deal. Everyone wants to feel like they've won. in some aspect of it. And so by getting that sale, that really pulls into there. And the person you were mentioning, I think we know the same person. We'll have to talk offline about that. But taking the anchor bias a step further, Bill Gates is very famous for many reasons, but one of them is he's a very avid reader and is said to read 50 to 52 books a year. So that's one a week. And one of the things that Bill Gates does that's really interesting is whatever the topic is that he's interested in, he will get books in 5 to 10 different books all about that topic and read all of them before he makes a decision. So he's not allowing his information to be anchored on just the opinion of one person that's in that book. And so while yes, you can get a feeling from someone in a video interview, that is absolutely to say that that's not the case. It's just, hey, make sure that there's not a bias that's here, and let's just go look a step further and go a little bit more due diligence, because it's the same thing in dating. You meet somebody and the sparks fly and you think they're great, and you start ignoring red flags because of the halo effect. You think, oh, they've got to be much better. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. So it's just making sure you take that extra step and do a little bit of extra due diligence. It's about to trust but verify.
No, I love it. There's a song that I have on my Spotify from a band that nobody knows called the Northern Pikes, and it's called "She's Not Pretty, She Just Looks That Way." So it kind of goes right into that. So Catherine, we got a minute left. Tell people how to get a hold of you, and how you can help them out, what you got to do, and how you're going to grow their company.
Absolutely. So they can get a hold of me at my email, which is kat@optimizewe.com. OptimizeWe focuses on getting you from a me culture to a we culture, because employees that are engaged and care about the company that they work at will work harder and be more productive and increase revenue. So we can work together to make sure that all of your employees are working at their optimized level, so your profits will be optimized as well.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's all about optimizing profits. Catherine, yeah, I know if I had a big business, I'd hire you so you can help me optimize, because I'm telling you, it's just one of those things that we've got to do. I saw it this week. I'm going to talk about it in some things a little bit later, so I hope you stick around, and we'll talk to you later. So I'm Michael Rager, your business guide here at Biz Talk with Michael Rager here on the NowMedia Television Networks, and we're going to be back with more right after this.
Stop and think. How often do you take the time to set goals? And when you set those goals, how often do you hit them? The problem is the word goal setting. We all have goals, but goals are just wishes. Goals are what we want. What we really need is called result setting. My name is Katrin Becker, and what I do is create tailor-made result plans that ensure people will hit their targets. If you are committed for real results, let's chat and see which program is right for you and your team. Goals are just what we want, but together, results are what we will achieve.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager. And joining us once again is Linda Chung. Linda, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be back.
All right, Linda. So what are some strategies for building wealth and creating a secure financial future?
Yeah, some strategies is just you really want to think about what your goals are. The strategy really needs to align with the goals, and that can depend on where you are in your situation right now. So there's not one size fits all. The factors are, in general, I would advise just thinking about where you're at right now and where you would like to go. And then what is the strategy to get you from point A to where you want to be in point B? And you have to think about the different factors that can affect that. How much time you have. The strategy for someone who's just graduating from college would be very different from someone who is retired, and because there's different levels of risk, different time horizons, presumably different levels of income ability, as well as different levels of assets. So, and depending on where you are, it's just really good to have that assessment. And also think about really a more holistic point of view, where there's certain factors that generally people universally want. People want to make good income during their income earning years. They also want to be able to have adequate income and assets once they're no longer working. And also their income needs generally change when they're not usually that significant in the beginning. Maybe people just have college student loans, but a single young person would have less overhead and less expenses preparing for the future than someone who has married, has a home, and 3 or so kids. So you really want to look at, I would say, from where you are and to that next kind of huge milestone. When you're starting off younger, you really probably are focused on making money and also paying off your student loans. And then when you get to that phase, then you want to think about, okay, maybe you're, going to start having a family, being able to save for a home. Really, it's the combination of income. Usually most of the time it's from a job. Oftentimes, it can be self-employed. It could be business or investment. Those are the typical 4, places to get income. The other factor you have to think about, and really I'm focusing on process and really habits, because if you develop good habits, even when you have nothing, you will be much better off than someone who is in a great place but doesn't have good habits, and that will be a negative, not a good situation. So in general, you want to focus on having income and recommend diversified sources of income. Most people have a job, and you want to think about, in these times especially, jobs are not guaranteed. You want to think about if you would have more control over your income if you learn some skills that could actually earn money. And due to technology and social media, a lot of different options there. As I say, there are a million ways to make $1 million now. And especially with the use of AI in many businesses, that you can do things now that really would be very, very time consuming before, but you can now, just using those resources, you can create websites, you can come up with branding, etc. Lots of things that are very, very, what used to be very time consuming, you can do using AI. And I would think about any skill that you have, there's probably a way that you can leverage this to monetize it. So you want to think about, what do you like? What do you want? What do you do? What are you passionate about? I'm not saying that every business, or I'm not saying that every passion can be turned into a profitable, scalable business, but at least you can make money. Really, market forces will determine if someone is how much and how many people will be willing to pay for it. But generally, anything that solves a clear problem, that's a good strategy because people will pay more often to have a problem fixed. Anything that helps people in some really significant beneficial way. Most often, if it helps people make more money, people will pay money to learn how to make more money. People will generally pay and really invest in their health because without health, there's really nothing, you can't, really live much longer without it. And then also people want to really build and focus on relationships as well. So you can create side businesses on that. And I highly recommend people thinking about that because probably due to the pandemic, there were lots of jobs that people lost, kind of gave people the time and perspective to think about really what do they want? Maybe they were working at a job they really didn't like and they were laid off, and it gave them the time to think about, well, what do I really want for my life? What do I want to do? And I think about when I'm advising clients and working with my agents and my team, I ask them first and foremost, what do you want? What do you want? Because really that desire or motivation to work towards what you want, like in anything to be successful, you're going to have, want it, work it, and do it really. So, be clear on what you want, clear on what you're willing to do to get that. And then also clear in terms of how that will impact your lifestyle, because we all have 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days a week. And it's really, how do you want to live your life? As far as I know, we only have one life to live. So really it's the choices on, and how do you spend your time? How do you make your money? It's really all a reflection of your most important values. And if you're not working and learning and investing in yourself, which is, I think Warren Buffett said it himself, is one of the best investments you can make is in yourself, because you are the biggest asset in your business and in your life. And if you're not growing and learning and investing in yourself, then you're doing the same things day to day. A year from now, 5 years from now, your life is going to look pretty much the same or potentially worse with natural atrophy. So one of my biggest strategies in general is really invest in yourself and create a plan, create a life plan. What do you want? And start with the end in mind and reverse engineer it. What do you want to do? The lifestyle. What kind of, do you want to travel? Do you want to have a family? Do you want to have a home? You want to have multiple homes? And then figure out, do the math, reverse engineer it. How much does that take? Do you want financial freedom? Everybody wants financial freedom, but most people aren't willing to put in the work to get that. You want to really understand like how much you want to be making, say, in a year, and really come up with that number from various sources. And as well, if you're making good money, one of the most important things too is to save it and invest it, because if you're so many people that I meet, they're making really good money, but it goes in and goes right out, and their expenses really escalated with their lifestyle. I think Warren Buffett is most famously known for this. He's lived in the same house apparently for decades, and though he's often quoted as top 5, usually he's always in top 5 of the richest people in the entire world, and he could afford to live in any kind of house, but he keeps his lifestyle. And one of the key things is to live below your income level, so that you have the money to save and create those healthy habits, no matter what your expenses. Even if you don't have a lot of income, it's really better off for you to even start saving $10 a week or $10 a month, and just gradually increase that. That is so much better than someone who makes 10 times more but then spends everything that they make.
Well, excellent information, Linda. If anyone at home would like to contact you, how would they do so?
Best way would be through Instagram. They can DM me at linda.chung.official. Send me a DM and say NowMedia, and I'll be sure to respond. Another way to reach me would be through my website, Chung Financial Services. All my contact information is there, as well as all the different ways that we help protect families and their wealth and help them get out of debt. So.
All right, that was some great information. Thanks, Linda. We always appreciate you having you on the show. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide here on NowMedia Television and Biz Talk TV. We're going to be back with more right after this.
Oye, Lily dice que AT&T le da a todos las mejores ofertas.
Minus the air quotes.
Las mejores ofertas.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Te lo dije, aquí las mejores ofertas son para todos con una variedad de planes.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
En AT&T les damos a todos nuestras mejores ofertas en cada smartphone.
Stop and think. How often do you take the time to set goals? And when you set those goals, how often do you hit them? The problem is the word goal setting. We all have goals, but goals are just wishes. Goals are what we want. What we really need is called result setting. My name is Katrin Becker, and what I do is create tailor-made result plans that ensure people will hit their targets. If you are committed for real results, let's chat and see which program is right for you and your team. Goals are just what we want, but together, results are what we will achieve.
As a home or business owner, it can be tough to find a painting company that you can rely on. Look no further. Hi, I'm Courtney Hughes, owner of 360 Painting West Houston, your go-to painting company for residential and commercial needs. 360 Painting's mission is simple. We want to provide you with the highest quality finish and the best painting experience possible. Our company's residential and commercial painting services are founded on 3 core values. First, quality. We ensure the use of premium paints, high quality finishes, and proven painting methods. Second, professionalism. We are committed to professional and responsive painting services. We coordinate and plan projects around your schedule and will treat your property with the utmost respect. And lastly, customer service. Your satisfaction is our #1 priority. So before laying a single brushstroke, we will make sure that we understand your vision for your home or office, and we'll do all that we can to paint that vision into reality. We strive to complete every project to your specifications, and we ensure professional, accountable, and reliable service from the first brushstroke to the last. So the next time that you need your home or business painted, give us a call for your free estimate at 713-829-1581.
Hey, this is Michael Rager, the host of Biz Talk TV with Michael Rager. Make sure you join us every day, 5 p.m. Central Time on all Now Media channels and social media platforms.
En esta era digital, las tarjetas de presentación de negocio son cosa del pasado. De hecho, la mayoría de las personas que las reciben las pierden en cuestión de minutos. La videotarjeta de negocios de NowMedia es un video de su negocio especialmente creado por nuestros expertos con toda su información de contacto, los productos y servicios de su negocio, y puede ser enviado de manera rápida utilizando su teléfono móvil. Cientos de negocios ya están viendo la diferencia. Llámenos hoy al 832-384-9588.
La información es poder. Y para estar bien informado, te invito a que veas todos los días Noticias de la Tarde. No presenta golpes o lesión. Conozca los hechos más importantes de México y cada rincón del mundo. Además, el análisis, reportajes especiales, entrevistas con los personajes que hacen la noticia. Yo soy Jesús Martín Mendoza y te espero en Noticias de la Tarde de lunes a viernes a las 2 por el Heraldo Televisión.
¿Quieres que tu negocio crezca y todo parece indicar que el camino es Estados Unidos? Te dijeron que abras una LLC para que no pagues impuestos, mas no tienes idea de cómo hacerlo. Soy Edmundo Treviño y quiero compartir contigo más de 20 años como empresario en Estados Unidos para que tú no te equivoques en los mismos errores que yo ya realicé. Sígueme en todas las redes sociales para que juntos conquistemos el mercado americano.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager, and we're ready. We're going to talk law, and we're going to talk about selling your business. David Murphy, how you doing today, my friend?
Well, if I was any better, Michael, I'd be you.
I don't know if that's such a good thing to be, buddy. I don't know. But, you do know we have a lot of fun, so that's what it's about. So, all right, we're going to talk today about getting ready to sell your business. Now, this is something that we just don't, start on a Thursday and accomplish by Monday, right?
No, but what I will tell you is there's no better time to start that planning than today.
Yeah. It's kind of like, when's the best time to plant a tree? Right now, when's the best time to start a diet? Right now, and get it going. One of the things I teach my business owners is build your business to sell it, because, we don't know when a sale event's going to happen. We don't know what's going to force us to go that way, because it's usually not we want it to happen, is it? Usually something happens, right?
Yeah, I would say that more times than not, a small business owner is transitioning because of a necessity, not necessarily because of a desire. And I would say that probably that reason for necessity versus desire is a lack of preparation and planning.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the preparation and planning is something we have to even start to sell the business. I know most business brokers that I deal with talk about they need a 3 to 5 year window to really get the business up. One of my friends, Andy, we talk about we don't want to be putting lipstick on the pig, right? We want the thing to look ready to go. So if we're going to make it look ready to go, where do we start?
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is getting all of your systematic processes in writing. Get it out of your head. Stop having a cult of personality business and have a formulaic, structured business that can be valued to someone else. So when we're helping a client start a new business, the first thing that we talk about isn't, what entity type that you want. It's about what is your business? Do you have a plan for this business? Do you have a written mission and vision statement? Do you have a structure of how you want this to operate? And then let's start putting all those things in writing at the impetus of the business, not 15 years down the road when you're successful, and then you got to figure out how to go back and regenerate 15 years worth of structure, employee contracts, vendor contracts, finances, leases. All of those things should be taken care of at the very beginning when it's easiest to get things started. Once your business is running and you're operating and you're making money, then putting those things together actually becomes a little more difficult because your time has been divided out into so many other things than the planning of the business.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. When you sit and looking at the vision and the mission of the business, and I know even as a coach, I got a hard time getting to that myself sometimes, because especially when we're just kicking off, we just kind of got this idea. We want to get it running. We got to get it moving. But as you start growing, you really need your team to buy into what you're trying to do. And then when you get to sell, that really, if there's a vision and mission, that's really what you're selling, isn't it?
Yeah, you're selling the culture that you've created, and you're selling the system that the business has become. And so looking at that and putting those things together is critical. Another thing that we talk about, and it happens all the time, is do you have your business segmented? Do you have a business where you're owning real estate inside an operating entity? That's a big no-no in my book. We want to have those things delineated out, have structures put together so that you're selling the asset that you want. And if you've got a passive asset in the middle of that, for real estate, for example, that you're able to retain that and sell off the operating business. I mean, you got to think like you're a franchise owner creator, because what you're selling is the actual structure of your business so that someone else can step into it and maintain that business moving forward. If you don't have that structure, then it's harder for you to sell that business. And that's where you come in with the 3 to 5 year window of trying to, after you've got an operating business, trying to go back and recreate the wheel instead of having worked on it at the beginning and as things move along.
Yeah, and I know right now as a guy that's putting together a franchise and stuff we're doing, it's being able to see and predict 3 to 5 years down the road of what you're going to be doing and how do you need to be doing it. It's really interesting right now to go write down what you do, because so few businesses have taken the time to sit down and figure out who does what, how, and why, and then how do you integrate other people within the company to make this happen and make it successful. And if we can get that done, it really makes a business really, really, really valuable, because it makes it easy to transfer, right?
Yeah, and if you don't have a structure for how your AR collection policy has come together, how is somebody else that hasn't been your business growing it going to come in and deal with that? And are you going to change that structure with clients and disrupt that relationship? So getting your financials in order, getting all of your pieces of your employee contracts, your HR, your vendor relations, contracts, MSAs, if you're dealing with those, getting all those put together on the front side is critical. It's a lot easier to modify something as the business pivots and changes than it is to try to recreate something from scratch that you should have done years ago when you first started.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, as a business coach, that's the hardest thing to get my clients to do, is sit down and go, hey, write this out, document it, do what you got to do. I mean, there's systems there. There's one we use called Trainual. You know, it's easy. You sit down with your video camera, you connect it up to your computer and show people how to do things online. You can take your iPhone, put it up, put things together, video how somebody does it, and then put it into the system so you can see how we do it. Because it really helps us, number one, as a coach, it helps us onboard new people, helps them bring them into our culture very quickly. But number two is, again, if anything ever happens to that key person, we can make sure somebody else knows what to do, right?
Yeah, that's, I mean, the video looms or whatever you might be looking at doing, they're incredibly helpful, especially, as you said, for bringing on new people as a training vehicle. I mean, if you can sit down and put your iPhone up or have a camera on your computer and take 10 minutes to walk through something in a video, I'm sorry, it's just going to be more effective than a manual. So I agree with that, absolutely. And it is. It's all getting the stuff out of your own head so that other people can do what you do. I mean, we're talking about selling a business, but let's talk about something else. If you're creating a business, you're an entrepreneurially minded person, you want to put a business together that is going to then be able to work without you.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, one of my mentors, his definition of a successful business was a commercial profitable enterprise that works without you. You know, that's the thing we're looking at, is how do we get out of business so we can let this thing go? Because, you know, if not, we just create a major job, and, you know, we know how much fun jobs are, right?
Yeah, it's the difference of being self-employed, which means you own your own job, versus being an entrepreneur, which you've created a business. And it all works together. If you're creating a business that you can walk away from and go to Greece for 2 weeks, and the business runs as well with you as it runs without you, now you've got an operation that you can sell to somebody else that has value for a new person coming in.
Right. I got it. I got a business right now that he went away, took a couple weeks off, and he said it worked really great. My second in command stepped up, and I said my important thing is if you document it, because what happens if the second in command goes? And he's like, crap. All right, dude, I didn't think about that. Let's make it happen, and let's go from there. So, Dave, all right, man, we're finishing up this segment right now. This is some really good stuff. So if people want to, you know, sit down and talk to you and figure out how to get this going with their business, how do they connect with you, and how do they get this going?
Well, they can reach us at the office at 281-475-2022. They can catch us on the email at firm@murphyslawpllc.com, and then that's our website as well, murphyslawpllc.com. Thank you. You've got it up on the screen, and we'd love to help you out however we can.
Well, that's awesome, David. That's awesome. So, hey, David's going to be coming to town soon. If you're here in Houston and you want to, get an appointment with, actually talk to him in person, I'm telling you, do it. And if he's going to be around the right week, we're probably going to make him go out and, smoke a cigar and, drink an old fashioned or something with us. I think I could twist your arm, can I?
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, David, man, it's awesome. Thanks a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing you when you're in town, and we'll talk to you next time.
Have a good day, Michael.
All right, thanks. You too, David. Hey, this is Michael Rager, your business guide here on NowMedia Television. We're going to be back with more Biz Talk TV with Michael Rager right after this.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
As a home or business owner, it can be tough to find a painting company that you can rely on. Look no further. Hi, I'm Courtney Hughes, owner of 360 Painting West Houston, your go-to painting company for residential and commercial needs. 360 Painting's mission is simple. We want to provide you with the highest quality finish and the best painting experience possible. Our company's residential and commercial painting services are founded on 3 core values. First, quality. We ensure the use of premium paints, high quality finishes, and proven painting methods. Second, professionalism. We are committed to professional and responsive painting services. We coordinate and plan projects around your schedule and will treat your property with the utmost respect. And lastly, customer service. Your satisfaction is our #1 priority. So before laying a single brushstroke, we will make sure that we understand your vision for your home or office, and we'll do all that we can to paint that vision into reality. We strive to complete every project to your specifications, and we ensure professional, accountable, and reliable service from the first brushstroke to the last. So the next time that you need your home or business painted, give us a call for your free estimate at 713-829-1581.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager. Hey, it's that time again. We're going to start talking about law. I know it's something we all get excited about, but David Murphy, he makes it exciting and helps us grow our business. David, how are you today?
Fantastic. And you, sir?
Oh, man, I'm loving it. It's a great day. It's a hot day here in Houston for sure. So I'm just trying
well,
not to
that is
melt.
Houston.
Yeah, that's right. That's Houston. It is. All right, David, so we got an interesting topic today. We're going to talk about ESOPs. Employee stock option programs. Tell us a little bit about what is an ESOP and when should a business owner start to consider it?
Okay. Well, ESOPs are, again, like you said, they're employee-owned, stock-owned plans. The employees don't have to own the entirety. Sometimes an owner will transition the company into an ESOP and retain a portion of ownership. And it's really a great plan as far as keeping a business involved in the community, because now you've got people that live in the community that are owning the business. You're not selling it to some third-party conglomerate coming from out of state who doesn't understand where your place has been in the community, what you've been involved in, and how your business has transitioned throughout the community to benefit the business and the community itself. One of the greatest things is that when you give someone ownership in something, their interest and their productivity in that business is going to increase. Your employee retention is greater. It's a great setup for a small business. Generally, you need to be more than 20 employees, roughly, for it to make sense for your business. But there are some great opportunities that allow the business to grow faster under the ESOP plan with the IRS and the taxation. In general, you're creating a trust, and the stock is going into a trust that's going to be taxed as an S corp. So since it's going into the trust, there is not a tax on the end of the day, profit revenue, because that's not how it's structured. So you're able to help the wealth of the business grow faster and larger from just utilizing the tools that we have in the IRCs, the Internal Revenue Code, to help your business grow.
Well, are there any business types that, an ESOP works better for? Or is it, you mentioned 20 people and above, but are there types that it's better for?
As far as what the business does in the marketplace, not really. I mean, the biggest issue is that the ESOP is a great vehicle to transition an S corp into, and it can give you greater advantages over your competitors in whatever space of the market you're in because of those tax savings, and allow you to put more money back into the business to grow the business faster, and to treat your employees better. Again, giving them a higher ownership interest and intent and growth of the company. It's just a very attractive financial tool for the company, and can help pay off debt.
So when, as a business owner, should we start looking at this as an option to grow our company?
Well, in general, you're gonna see a company that has had steady profits for a while. There's growth. It's not a savings vehicle. It's a vehicle to help a profitable, well-heeled company to grow better and go to higher levels. Generally, you can utilize a debt vehicle to help create the trust and the ESOP plan. It helps with management retention for companies, and it gives you, most small businesses that would be looking at this. When I say small, I don't mean one-man shops, but mid-level, mid-market companies. They're going to have higher level of involvement and pride in their communities and what you're dealing with, as far as that involvement, whether it's little league teams or support for local organizations that reach out to the community. It allows that to transition with the people that live in that community. Again, instead of some third-party conglomerate coming from out of state to take over your business, it's not going to have the same culture, respect, and care for the community that those internal people that live in the community are going to have.
So what does it mean, like, with an ESOP? Does it mean that the employees actually own and run the company, or is it, how does employee interaction change when you set up an ESOP?
Well, again, the ESOP itself is structured as a trust.
Okay.
And so the employees will have an ownership interest in that, and it's like basically an internal 401k for the business. So the employees can garner into the plan. The employees can buy into the plan, but there's a set strike price, and as the company grows, the value of that employee's interest grows. And again, it's like an internal 401k of sorts.
So what happens when an employee leaves? Is it just like that? They roll it over? Do they move it? So their stock get cashed out?
It depends on how the ESOP is put together, but in general, there would be a buyout plan, and those interests are going to stay with the company. You're not keeping them when you leave. That'll convert to a monetary exchange, and then be divvied out in some sort of a payout plan or maybe a lump sum plan. It really depends on how that internal trust structure is put together.
How long does it take a company to set this up? Is this something that can be set up in just a couple of weeks? Does it take a year or so? Is this a long-term plan? At least on the setup side.
Mid-level. You're probably talking 3 or 4 or 5 months getting things put together with a good ESOP attorney to help you walk through that. You need to get someone who's focused in this type of business. This isn't a general practice type of law. You need to focus on an ESOP company and trust development group.
Okay, so how easy, is a lawyer like you, are they going to come in and say, hey, David, help me set up this ESOP? What specific criteria do they look for an attorney that can help them set this up?
Well, in general, it's going to be more than just a legal team. It's also going to be a financial team that's going to help you. As I said, usually there's a debt instrument that comes together to help buy out the owner, to move the employee stock into the treasury for the trust that can hold it and distribute it to the employees. So it's a team. It's not just one attorney. You're going to have a a financial group. You're going to have a trust management group after the thing is set up. So it is a little bit of a process, but it can be so much benefit for the company and the community at large, especially us as small business owners. I think we reach out and do more things in the community than the higher Fortune 500 companies are going to do.
No, I love it. I love it. This sounds like a great plan. And I know I was a part of a company at one time that we went and did this, and we formed it, and it really helped us function better. Because, the owner, it was really weird in this place. The owner kind of wanted to step away, and, he wanted to he didn't want to sell it to somebody else that didn't understand what was built, and he wanted the internal people to grow it. So I thought it was a really great plan, and it really did help us grow by the time we finally ended up selling the company a few years later. So, David,
this thing becomes your baby.
Yeah, yeah.
And so transitioning it off to your employees is like giving it to your kids.
Yeah. And we sold it, and we built the company, and we put it together, and we sold it. So it was interesting. It was a great thing for all of us. So, David, if people want to get a hold of you and talk about this in more detail, how do they do that?
They can reach us at the office at 281-475-2022. You can hit us up on the email at firm@murphyslawpllc.com, and we're on the web at murphyslawpllc.com.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, David, we're looking forward to you coming back to Houston to visit. The people that are watching this, you're going to have to watch. We're going to announce when David's coming back, and come back out and meet him. We're going to make sure it happens. And, this guy's a pretty sharp lawyer, and you want him on your team for sure.
Thanks, Michael. Have a great day.
All right, buddy. You too. This is Michael Rager, your business guide here on NowMedia Television. We're going to be back with more Biz Talk TV right after this.
Stop and think. How often do you take the time to set goals? And when you set those goals, how often do you hit them? The problem is the word goal setting. We all have goals, but goals are just wishes. Goals are what we want. What we really need is called result setting. My name is Katrin Becker, and what I do is create tailor-made result plans that ensure people will hit their targets. If you are committed for real results, let's chat and see which program is right for you and your team. Goals are just what we want, but together, results are what we will achieve.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hey, I really want to thank you for watching today. I think it's been a really great show. Linda Chung, she gave us some great information on building your company. David Murphy, of course, always giving us the great law things, the things we got to look about, in our business and make sure we get ourselves protected. And of course, Katrin Becker going on and talking to us about some unconscious bias. Those are the things we want to do. Hey, if you're in Houston, you want to join us here on the 12th, come on out to Whiteboards and Whiskey. We're going to be holding it over in the side of the memorial area, just inside the loop. It's a great event for you business owners. We're going to actually do what it says. We're going to drink a little whiskey and we're going to whiteboard out the #1 business solution or business challenge that's going on with the group that day. So we want to make sure that we go ahead and we give you some really, really great information. Come on out. You're seeing them go through it right now. You're seeing the order form and everything we got. Come visit us. Just come say you want to visit and learn more about your business. That's what it's always about. We have 10 to 12 business owners. We mastermind every month and we have a great time. So, hey, I'm looking forward to the next episode. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide here on NowMedia Television and Biz Talk TV. We'll see you next time.
This has been a NowMedia Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Llama ahora y obtén tu IC360 por un increíble precio de introducción. Pero espera, si eres de las primeras 50 personas en llamar, te regalaremos la segunda cámara para que puedas aprovechar la aplicación móvil multicámara y multired. Y pregunta a tu operador por nuestros adaptadores IC360 para aprovechar al máximo tu cámara. Si llamas ahora mismo, enviaremos un tercer